Hello everyone, Professor Lohit here. Today we are going to see the lecture number 21. We are going to start with the module number 3, that is payment materials. So as the name itself suggests that payment materials are the materials which are required to construct the highway infrastructures. So in this the materials, in the sense it might include the different types of materials, different of the layers which are composed to form a pavement. You are going to have the see the material and you are going to test them, and according to that the thickness of the pavements will depend. So as the first topic starts with the soil subgrade or subgrade, as you see the pavement composition, the first layer, the earth, what you called it as a subgrade. On that we are going to build up the different layers. Yeah. So first we look after the what is subgrade and how we are going to test it. So when I talk about the soil subgrade, it is an integral part of the road pavement or structure, and it provides the support to the pavement from the beneath. The subgrade and the properties of the soil are important in designing the any kind of the pavement structures. If the soil is very weak, then the sense the whatever the compositions required, the thickness of each layer start increasing because it have to take the more load. As the subgrade or the whatever the structure subsoil is very much in stronger position, then it can take the more load easily, then the thickness of the pavement will decrease. That is the importance of that. So the function of the subgrade is to provide what adequate support to the pavement even under any adverse climatic and loading conditions. As we know, we in Indian scenario we have the 3 seasons: rainy season, winter season, summer season. In winter season, what the soil becomes very much moist due to the increase in water table and all. Even those conditions, the loading capacity of the soil has to be remain same in all the seasons. Okay, there shouldn't be any formation of the waves, corrugation, rutting or shoving in the flexible pavement, and some phenomena like in a CC pavement like pumping, blowing, and a crack shouldn't be appear on the soil, appear on the pavement surface. These are the reasons why the what it's due to the what pure subgrade conditions. So what are the properties you're going to look to have the proper what soil or a subgrade soil? How the soil is supposed to be? So here are some properties here. So one is how it has to be more stability, it has to be incompressibility, permanency of the strength, the minimum change in volume, and the stability under adverse conditions of weather and the groundwater, good drainage to provide, ease of compaction. So seeing to these desirable properties, the soil should what it possess as a adequate stability and has to resist to a permanent deformation under loading conditions, and should also possess resistance to weathering, thus retaining its desirable whatever the subgrade support is. And there should be minimum variation in volume with variation water content will ensure minimum variation in differential like expansion and differential strength values of the subgrade. And if you have the good drainage, it is essential to avoid what excessive moisture retention to the reduction of the potential frost action, like sudden increase and decreasing of the water particle due to the change in temperature. And lastly, that ease of compaction ensures that higher density and the strength under the particular type and the amount of compaction is easily achievable. Clear? So this is what you look after into the soil subgrade. And there are different classifications also available. First of all, the soil classification is based on the grain size. We know that the greater than 2 mm we called them as a gravel, and in between 2 mm to like 0.06 mm we call them as a sand. Greater than 0.06 mm to 0.002 we call them as silt. Greater than 0.02 mm we call them as a clay. Clear? So the classification of the even different methods are available, like the textural soil classification, Burmester classification, then is a US Public Administration classification, Federal Aviation Agencies compaction classification, that what you are going to learn in a GT. But for your syllabus, we have the HRB classification, that is nothing but Highway Research Board classification of soil. So, this classification is also called sometimes Revised Public Road Administration, that is PRA soil classification system. With just 3 simple laboratory tests like sieve analysis, liquid limit and plastic limit, it is possible to classify this what soils here. Whatever the HIB soil classification system is generally adopted in highway engineering is this classification for only the subgrade soil. Okay. In this system, the soils are divided into the 7 group from A1 to A7. And the soil groups in that A1 to A7, A1, A2 and A3 soils are granular soils. And the how you going to say the granular soils? The proportion of the fine, okay, which passes 75 micron or 0.075 mm being less than 35%, then we consider them as the granular soils, and that classification is A1, A2 and A3. And the next A4, A5, A6 and A7 soils are called as fine grade or a silt clay passing with what 75 micron being greater than what 35%. If it is less than 35%, they come across inside the granular soil. If it is greater than 35, they come across the fine grade. So, here in this classification, A1, A2, A3 are the granular soil, A4, A5, A6 and A7 are the fine grade soils. Clear? And here A1, the A1 soils are always well graded and they are non-plastic in nature. Like well graded in the sense, the mixture of stone fragments, graveler cores, sand, fine sand, okay, and they are non-plastic or slightly plastic soil binder. This soil of this group are subdivided again into the A1A and A1B. So, A1A consistently predominant of the stone fragments or gravel, and A1B are predominantly of coarse sand. This is how the A1 is classified. And if you consider the A2, so A2 group soil includes wide range of the granular soil between A1 to A3. So, A2 is a group of soil which widely ranges into A1 to A3 and up to 35% fines of A4, A5, A6 or A7 groups will be considered here. So, therefore, based on the fine contents, the soils of A2 groups are subdivided as A24, A25, A26 and A27. So, A2 is the class where the wide range of soil granular soil is available between A1 to A3. So, in this there 35% is final is included like A4, A5, A6 and A7. So, this seeing to that this A2 group is subdivided as A24, A25, A26 and A27, where the A3 is the soil mainly consists of uniformly graded medium or fine sand similar to like beach sand or a desert blown sand, okay. And A4 soils are generally silt soil, okay, and they are non-plastic or moderately plastic in nature with a liquid limit less than 40% and plastic index less than 10%. Those categories comes across into the A4. A5 is the group of soils. A5 as a group of soils are also what silty soil with the plastic index less than 10%, but the liquid limit values exceeds 40%. And these are the soils include highly they are elastic or compressible soils. And A6, these are what the group of soils are plastic clays having a value of plastic index exceeding 10% and low values of liquid limit less than 40%, and they are high volume change properties with variations in moisture content. And lastly, the A7, they are also clay soils, same like as A6, but with a high value of both liquid limit like greater than 40% and plastic index greater than 10%. And these soils have low permeability, okay, and high volume change of properties with change in moisture content. Okay, this is how they classified the under the what HRB classifications. Okay, and this is the table how it shows like highway research based on soil classification. Clear? So if we finish the first class here. Thank you for your patience here.